Hey everybody, I'm Deanna Corby with Deanna Corby Dressage, and this is my new baby. So if you saw my last video, it was about me going to get this little baby from the wild, from the breeders. The video before that was me convincing my husband that I needed this little baby. And anyway, we're here at my farm. Where I work, I should say, where I board and train. And I'm going to take you through a little session with this little baby. This guy, his name is PJ, and he's a full brother to Roman, my competition horse. And he is 8 months old. He knows how to lead, how to be tied. He knows how to self-load into a trailer, thanks to my friends at Fishing Creek Warm Bloods, Chuck and Suzanne Green. So today I'm going to teach him how to stop by using the trill sound. When I went to go get him, I haven't touched him in a few days, but when I went to go get him, he was a little bit jumpy. So I'm also going to get my hands all over him and groom him and stuff like that. When you're working with a baby, you want to keep your sessions short and positive and be very clear and entertaining, and just do your best to get your point across as quickly and efficiently as you can. Don't want to work babies too hard by any means. And with him being only 8 months old, his work is something as simple as learning how to move away from pressure, or learning how to stand for the water hose, or how to react to pressure, and how learning how pressure gives, and how to find peace with the pressure that he's under, meaning like the water hose or a fly spray on his hind end or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to take you through my session with him. Today I'm hoping to teach him how to stop by using the trill sound. So we're going to get started. At this stage, I just want him to understand that I want him to understand respect. I want him to understand how to deal with pressure. I want him to be comfortable with me and feel safe around me. This horse has only been been handled for the past 6 weeks, or maybe 2 months by now. But before that, he was totally wild and untouched by humans. I love starting young horses because they're kind of like blank slates, and I love seeing how their little minds work. It's really fun taking that journey with a young horse, being a part of their lives the whole way through, from teaching them how to lead, teaching them how to carry a saddle, how to carry a rider, and then bringing them up through the levels. That's really fulfilling to me, something that I really, really enjoy. So I have one trick that I do with all young horses, and it is to give them a tail massage. When you give them a tail massage, kind of like scratching the top of their tailbone, it kind of has them associate you being behind them and at their tails in a positive way, because it feels really good. As you can see, the baby's being a little bit tricky about his feet. So even though I want to pick out his feet, the best thing that I can do is just hold his foot up until he relaxes and not worry at that second about picking out his feet. So when he relaxes his hoof, I put his foot back down, and then I try again, pick his foot up, and if he tries to take it away, I stick with it, I hold on to it as best I can, and then when he relaxes, I put his foot back down. It's important that you put the baby horse's hoof back down on his toe, so that he's not getting in the habit of ripping his foot away from you. And then if he's relaxed enough and not trying to take his foot away from me, then I can pick out his foot. So, hoof picking was a success. The biggest thing I think you have to understand with babies is that you might have an agenda in mind, but your agenda needs to be flexible, and it needs to always be about thinking about the big picture. So for instance, yes, I wanted to pick out his feet, but it's more important for the long run that he understands how to relax and respond to pressure. So the pressure in this scenario was first me asking him to pick up his foot, and I was, squeezing and stuff like that and asking him to pick up his foot, and then he figured out how to respond to that pressure by picking up his foot. And then the new bit of pressure was me handling his foot. So what he tried to do is take his foot away from me, and I just stuck with it as best I could and just held on. And then on my own terms, hey, good boy. On my own terms, I put his foot down on his toe, rather than him, like I said, getting in the habit of taking his foot away from me. And little stuff like that, like pawing, we need to go ahead and nip in the bud now so that he's understanding patience and manners and, respect. Even little stuff like that. Pawing, not acceptable. All right, buddy, you ready to work? Guys, my camera battery died, so we'll have to work this out with my phone. Hi, cutie. Most important thing you have to remember when you are lunging or free lunging your horse, especially your baby horse, is that you absolutely must be in charge of the direction that he's going. He's never, ever, ever, ever allowed to change the direction without you telling him to do so. So we're gonna lunge for a little bit and see how it goes. Okay, the next thing, now that I'm lunging the little baby, next thing I'm gonna teach him is the trill sound. So I'm going to make a certain noise. Sounds like a trail sound, you'll see. And I'm going to kind of cut him off with my body. I have a whole nother video. First video on YouTube I actually ever made was to how to teach your horse the trill sound. I did many years ago with a broodmare, but I'm going to teach this guy what the trill sound means, and we'll see how many times it takes for him to understand. So that was his first time ever taking a treat from me, from my hand. And when I used the trill sound, he first just kind of turned his butt to me because I kind of cut him off. I used the trill sound several times and I kind of cut him off with my body language, so he thought he should turn around. But then I just kept using the trill sound and I went up to him and he stopped. So now I'm going to try it a few more times and hopefully he'll understand the trill sound even faster. So that time was better than the first. I used the trill sound just twice and he was already kind of looking at me and had his eyeball on me. And then he stopped pretty quickly and faced me. And by the way, I'm giving him grain as his treats. I normally like to use some other kind of horse cookie that doesn't like make my pocket disgusting, or like a sugar cube, but he doesn't know anything about treats. He only knows about his grain. So I'm using something that he likes, and that's really important, or else there's not very much incentive for him to want to stop and learn about the reward if he doesn't like the reward. So I'm gonna do it a few more times and see how it goes. Okay, this is my third time teaching him the trill sound today, my third attempt. You want to make sure his feet are moving first, because if he's already at the halt and you use the trill sound, it's kind of besides the point. Kind of not teaching him to be immobile. So I have him go around about 30 seconds or so. So now I'm going to use my trill sound and see how quickly he will stop. Good boy. Good boy. When I've made this video before, I've had some comments about how the trill sound just teaches the horse to come in towards you. And yeah, that does happen in the beginning, but more importantly, like I said, you always have to think of the bigger picture here. More importantly, the horse learns to stop to the sound. You're giving the trill sound power, and when you give it power, when you give a horse a reward after they hear the sound, it like charges that sound. And yeah, like I said, in the beginning, they do come up to you, but as they understand the sound more and more, that goes away. They just know to become immobile and to get a treat when they hear the trill sound. So we're gonna try it one more time. It's getting dark out, so just gonna try one more time. I think we're approaching like 15 minutes or so of working together, and that includes grooming. So again, I want to keep my sessions short and sweet so that he's having fun and it doesn't become drilling. So one more time, here we go. So this will be my 4th attempt today, my first day ever teaching him about the trill sound. And the last 2 times I had to use the trill sound twice to get him to stop. And he is again turning in towards me, and that's okay for now. It's more important that he just learns to stop. And later I can encourage him to stay out on the 20-meter circle and become immobile where he is. He'll stop faster and he'll understand that the trill sound means immobility rather than the trill sound means turn in, walk towards me. Come on. No, no, no. Good boy, good boy. Rather than the trill sound meaning turn in, walk towards me, and, you know, find a treat. Trill sound means immobility. All right, so here we go again. So obviously this last attempt number 4 on the first day, took a couple of tries to get him to halt, and that's okay. If your horse doesn't understand to stop when you first use the trill sound, just keep trying again and again with that sound, and you can always cut them off a little bit if you're working in a round pen like I am. Again, I have more details about how to teach a horse how to stop using the trill sound in my first ever YouTube video that I will share with you guys if anyone's interested. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's little session with PJ. I hope you guys like him as much as I do. I think he's a doll. Say goodnight, PJ.